they say Jah Bel Hun when they're in the Masonic Lodge, and it's 3 Masons, and it's 3 Masons have to be together to pronounce that the name that they say is supposed to be the name of God, and they say Jah Bel Hun or Jehovah. You fucking niggas, you're into that shit and you worship that, and a lot of you niggas become a part of that Masonic shit because of the little perks you get. If you have your little Masonic bumper sticker on your car and a policeman rolls up on you, they ain't supposed to give you a speeding ticket even though you were speeding. Or you go in the courtroom and you stand on a fucking 45-degree angle with your hands a certain way in front of the judge. The judge is supposed to give you a lighter sentence or supposed to let you go because you're a part of that Masonic brotherhood. So you fucking vultures, you niggas, become a part of that so you can get some fucking perks, so you can get a pass with certain things in this society. You sell out to the devil. That's basically what it is. That's why we tell you straight up, fuck you, man.
Right. Right.
We'll tell our people in a minute, fuck you. All right.
That's right.
And really, right now, you're not our people.
That's right. That's right.
You're a bunch of fucking niggas, spooks, wetbacks, monkeys, apes. All of those names that the so-called white man uses on you, they are true. Yeah, we're gonna use them on you too. You fucking monkeys, you coons, you spooks, you fucking apes, you fucking gorillas, you porch monkeys, you fucking spicks, you fucking wetbacks. All of those names, we're gonna use them names on you because they do apply to you.
Right.
Read on there. Let's keep reading that.
And it said in his heart that there is no God.
Right, and then a lot of you, now you're at the conclusion like, there is no God. Then you get them niggas talking about, there is no God, I'm God, I be Allah. You fucking 5%, you 5%, you 100% out your motherfucking mind, man. First of all, the percentage is already given. 33% is gonna make it, that's the 1/3. 2/3, which is 66.6%, is the Most High is casting their ass into the fire. 2/3 of our people is already done. So you come with some 5% shit. Where you get that bullshit from? That's some coonery that some niggas came up with in the 60s. What's that, Clarence 13X? That fucking bullshit. He was a offshoot of Elijah Muhammad. He broke off from Elijah Muhammad in the Nation of Islam and came up with his fucking thing. Clarence 13X. So now a nigga reads fucking Clarence 13X, and now he's on this he's a God trip. But they don't believe in the Bible. But to try to prove that he's a God, he'll read the Bible. You see the stupidity with them niggas?
All them niggas is set up.
You know, them niggas ain't nothing but street masons. You know who they designed to get? They designed to get you stupid ass niggas in the hood, you weed smoking, drug dealing motherfuckers. They designed to get you in the prison system and out there on the street. That's what them niggas is set up for, to get you and lock your mind into that bullshit. That's what they're set up for. There's no rhyme or reason to them fucking niggas. First of all, it tells you in Corinthians, first of all, you trying to study everybody else's foundation. You want to read a little bit of, you try to read the Bible, then you want to read the Quran, then you want to read the Kibra Negas, then you want to read the Egyptian Book of the Dead. First of all, the Lord said you cannot have two masters. You either gonna love one and hate the other. So you ain't supposed to be dipping and diving into all these other fucking philosophies out there. Somebody else give me Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. You get it for me. You get it for me. You stay right there where you at. Cause you these niggas, they think because I read the 5 baskets of Buddhist Zen. Some shit that the Buddhists is into. You got niggas that are Buddhists, man.
Russell Simmons.
Yeah, Hustle Simmons. Hustle Simmons. He's a fucking Buddhist. Heavy D, he's a Buddhist. Tina Turner, you know that no home renge cure? She was she used that to get away from Ike Turner. Buddha took her away from Ike Turner, man. You know?
I got a quick scripture.
And Ike Turner gave that bitch a name. He gave her a life. He gave her a career. He created that bitch. He took Anime Bullock and transformed her into what everybody sees as Tina Turner. But yet Ike Turner ain't shit. Right? You got Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson created Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, Tito Jackson, Jermaine Jackson. And that family is probably the most successful family in fucking music history. But yet, Joe Jackson's a fucking monster, right? Joe Jackson's a motherfucking monster. You people, you gonna learn to respect the black man, all right? You gonna learn what respecting the black man is all about. He created that. He created that family. There wouldn't be no motherfucking Michael Jackson if it wasn't Joe Jackson. And Joe Jackson was like a drill sergeant over his sons, over Michael and over the rest of his sons. And Michael was a little fucking faggot, man. Even though Michael did say in an interview that when this East Indian tried to get him to talk shit about his father, he basically said, well, look. He said, look what came of it. You know? He didn't talk bad about his father that time, but there's times other than that when he talks shit about his father. It's because you see how Michael Jackson has that work ethic to be the best. You want to know why? Because Joe Jackson instilled that shit in them from when they was little. No, you ain't gonna go out there and be with them niggas out there in the street. You gonna go and practice. That's why Michael became a perfectionist. Why? Because Joe Jackson drilled the shit into him like a drill sergeant. Because even Jermaine Jackson said himself, he said there was a lot of things going on back at that time in the late 50s and the early mid 60s that you could get caught up in. A lot of them was drugs, because back then a lot of black folk ain't have no money, so a lot of black people was using that heroin. Heroin was big back in the motherfucking 50s and the 60s, and even the 70s. 70s is when coke started to like come and take over, like in the 70s. But the 50s, the 60s, hell, the 40s, 50s, 60s, it was all that heroin, man. You shooting that shit in your veins and all that. So Joe Jackson, being out there and knowing about what was going on out there, he fucking was on his sons like a fucking drill sergeant. And they didn't call him dad. They didn't call him pops. They called him, Joe. He said, look, you gonna call me Joe. You gonna call me Joseph. And that's what they called their father. They didn't call him daddy and call him father. They called him Joseph. He was on him like a motherfucking drill sergeant. The same thing with Floyd Mayweather's father, Floyd Mayweather Sr. He was on Floyd like a drill sergeant. In the scriptures in the Apocrypha, can't remember where it's at, but it tells you when you have a son, you're supposed to bow your son down, man. The scriptures tell you you're supposed to ride him like a horse, man. You're supposed to bow him down so he don't become willful against you. Your son is supposed to be terrified of you as his father. He ain't supposed to be all fucking buddy-buddy with you, you know? Your son is supposed to know that there's a fucking line of separation between his father and him. Son is supposed to be like that. If you found it, yeah, if you found it, read it.
Oh, it's Ecclesiastes.
Read loud, read loud.
Ecclesiastes chapter 30, verse 9. Conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid. Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness.
Right, you play with him, you always constantly playing with him. Yeah, that's my little man right there. Instead of being serious with him, you playing with him, then this motherfucker thinks that it's playtime all the fucking time. You tell him to do something, he's fucking looking at you smiling. He's telling you, tell the boy, look, stop, don't do that, and he does it anyway. He smacked the shit on the floor, then he looks at you and laughs because he thinks it's playtime. Read it again. Read it up. Start up at the verse you started at.
Right. Ecclesiastes chapter 30, verse 9. Conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid. Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness. Laugh not with him, lest thou have sorrow with him.
Right. Laugh not with him, because he thinks something funny. You don't laugh with him. You give him that stern look, and he's like, you know, and he'll have that attitude after a while. Damn, man, my pops is like kind of like an asshole, man. But you know what? That's the way you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be all buddy-buddy with your son. And Joseph Jackson was like that with Michael and the rest of his sons. And Floyd Mayweather Jr. was like that with his sons. And I believe Roy Sr., Roy Jones's father, was like that with him. That's why Roy Jones separated from his father. That's why Floyd Mayweather Jr. separated from his father for about 8 or 9 years. And now they're kind of getting back, you know, like close again, being like father and son. But because why? Floyd Mayweather Sr., he was on Floyd like a motherfucking drill sergeant. And that's why when Floyd be in the ring, Floyd be beating the shit out of niggas like a fucking monster, because of what his father made him a perfectionist. Through his father putting that hell on him and bowing him down. When he goes in the ring, he bows other niggas down in the ring. He bows them other men that step in the ring with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather Jr. bows them the fuck down. He sons them. Why? Because of the way his father raised him. Read that. read it through.
Right.